EA Sports coverage of the National Football League finds us in the capital city of Columbus, Ohio. Tonight we begin the final stretch. Week 16 starts here as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Commanders of Columbus. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Kevontae Turpin now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That's a start they can live with. 15 yards on their first play from scrimmage. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. A first carry now. This is Williams. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, this defense for the Commanders, very strong in that victory a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. When you look at this defense, they come into this one down at the 27th position in the league, Charles, against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that third down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory.
At their own 14-yard line.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Two and now on 1st down. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Damone Clark. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0.
Commanders, nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Third down and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
And he'll get a couple up to the 29. You look at this Cowboy defense. And they've played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that? Who
are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Second down at 6 now from the 42. Now it's Hines. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
The ball carrier. Osa Odighisawa on the stop. That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 3.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Commanders nothing.
Columbus with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Robinson will try to pick it up, and he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Cavante Turpin deep for the Cowboys. And he fields it cleanly. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again, but I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots, and here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game. Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. To the air again, Prescott. They'll drop this underneath to Pollard. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Prescott. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. On the return is Williams. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Prescott now on second down. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
First down, Cowboys.
They'll run left with Pollard. There's a nice move, and they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 50 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. Off the play fake, Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Luke Schoonmaker, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 19-point game.
Commanders, nothing.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it. I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Second down and a yard. Stanton. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
It's a gain of 20. First down, Cowboys.
Prescott on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ferguson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. To throw is Prescott. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
At the 6-yard line.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Cowboys will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So after a very one-sided first half, what will the second half bring as we are back underway on EA Sports? Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late. That wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Now Stanton. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
At their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
From the gun on 3rd down. Stanton able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the Columbus first down. 1st and 10 at the 48.
They'll run this one right with Robinson. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5. This is Hines. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
On 3rd down, Stanton. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So now following the roll of the dice, they've got a first and 10 inside the 35. On first and 10, it's Robinson. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Stanton. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Robinson gets the toss on the right side. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Commander's going to bring out the field goal unit. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they knock that deficit down from 29 to 26. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. Again, a run with Vaughn. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. And that is how you do it, my friends. This will be spotted out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Off the play fake. Stanton slings this deep from McLaurin. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown! Terry McLaurin, 81 yards. And the Commanders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 19-point ball game.
Commanders 10.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. Out of the gun, it's a give to Vaughn. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
It's a gain of 20. 1st down, Cowboys.
They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?